Thursday.
It's Fire Shop Day.
There we go.
Hey, Fire Shop Day. It's Fire Shop Day.
Morning, y'all.
It's Fire Shop Day.
I packed up the book, so now
It's Fire Shop Day.
I'm going to look down because I usually have it up. Okay, whatever. Good morning, everybody. Mom and Dad, Angelo, Mom Reed, Lily Beth Scott. Good morning, everybody. Sharon, Jack. Hi, Cindy and Arnie. Tank. Are we going on the other one?
Yeah. We are. I'm not quite there yet.
Oh. Good morning, Maureen and Helen, Michelle. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to Thursday.
Welcome to Thursday.
Hello. I'm Mercedes. DJ Flat. Tony. Good morning. Kennel. I saw Kenna and Kindle. You guys were back to back. And I said Kennel. Good morning, girls. Scott Brown says heavy fog on a 5 and 78.
Good morning, Diane.
Good to know. I saw the fog early this morning. Morning, Brian
It was at
Adley.
our house last night, but it's not here this morning.
No.
I think it's going to be hot today from what I
Think
understand.
so?
That's what I heard, like super hot.
Hi, Kathy. You're here too. Good morning, everybody. Diana from Houston, Texas. Welcome. Good morning, Jeanette. Melissa and Elizabeth. Amber Mitchell. Safe
Melissa.
travels to you. You probably got some fog there also.
Melissa Barajas. That's a good last name, too.
Yeah.
Barajas. Am I saying that right? Barajas. Barajas.
Good morning, Frisa. Welcome, everybody. Rise and shine.
Good morning, you guys. She said good morning. Yes. Nailed it. Nicholas Alvarez. Thanks for, Nick, I see that you responded. I haven't seen the response yet. Haven't been able to look at it,
Which
but
one?
thank you.
Oh.
Mr. Alvarez.
No fog in Chula Vista. You're already down in Chula Vista, Angelo. You got an early start today. Oh. So the fog is just towards the coast, not inland. Yeah. Well, welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to
714. It's good to see you this morning. My name's Doug.
I'm Gretchen.
And she's glitching.
I was not glitching.
You were like, welcome.
I always try to figure out how to say it. After 3.5 years, I still have a hard time saying 714 or
it's okay.
Doug and Gretchen in the
Good morning, Tony, Oliva, and Lauren. Hey, welcome to...
I don't know what to say.
Here's what you say. Right here,
What?
ready?
What do I say?
Hey, welcome to 714. My name's Gretchen, and this is Doug. And we're so happy to hang out with you this morning. We have only been saying that for 3.5 years. So, anyways, it's good to see y'all this morning. We are stoked that you're in the house. We only have one more day in this house, you guys. Tomorrow will be the last day that we do this show in this house, and then this whole studio gets moved to next door or to a couple of blocks away, and we will
Next door.
We will. It probably
Practically.
won't look any different though. We're gonna put the backdrop up for
Are we?
now. Yeah,
Okay.
and we're just gonna keep rolling.
All right.
So,
Good morning, Tim. Hi, Kayla.
yeah. Anybody that wants to help move today, moving all day today, pretty much. I'm supposed to have a lunch. I got to figure out how to get out of that.
Well,
I don't know what to do about that. So,
well, welcome. We are here to get our minds right, as those of you that are with us every day know that. If you are new, we gather here to get our minds right.
yeah.
And we do it 3 different ways. We practice gratitude, we read the Bible, and we pray.
She said, so yeah, it's Doug and Glitchin' in the morning.
I cannot with you, Amber.
Amber, that
Why the move?
is
Michael asks. Well, because we need to move into a new home.
Yeah.
The
The homeowner here at this house bought this house years ago, lived in it for a while, and then moved for work, and then rented this and said, when it's time for us to retire, we're going to move back here. This is the home we want to retire in.
Yeah.
Well, it's that time.
Yes.
So he let us know we're moving back. And I was like, no, you're not. He's like, we are. And I was like, no, you're not. Charles Chang. His name is Charles Chang. Let me give you guys all his cell phone number. I'm just kidding.
Stop it. No,
I'm just kidding.
He's been awesome.
He's been fine.
But
he's been great.
But they want their house back.
But they're going to move back. So we had to move.
Yeah.
We actually love this neighborhood. So we're just moving down the road.
We found another place that we can rent. We were hoping to buy, but that didn't happen. But that's okay. God's got it all worked out somewhere, somehow.
Kathy, I like the sound of that.
So,
Yeah.
Kathy.
You're talking our language, Kathy.
So anyways,
Yeah.
that's why we're moving.
That's why. So moving all day. I got to finish it by tomorrow night. Today, all day today, and all day tomorrow. Tank, I have this huge trailer that I'm using that works amazing. So not really. Do I need the flatbed? Unless I had more hands and help, then yeah. But at this moment, no. So, but I'll let you know.
Oh, I had a feeling, Kathy, we won't like the sound of the price.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think
all right.
anything, Nick. I think we're good. We're just going to be huffing stuff.
Muscles. That's all we need. Anyways, let's get going with gratitude. What are you grateful for, babe?
Yeah. Hi, Diane Bernardi. I see her over there. I'm grateful for change. I'm always talking about, hey, we should welcome change. We should welcome whatever it is that God's got in our future. So as disappointing as it is to move, because we kind of like where we're at and we're just comfortable here. I'm also the guy that goes, that's okay. God, whatever you have. And yeah, San Diego did just become the most expensive county in the United States of America. Imagine that.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Housing wise.
Hence why we're renting.
Yeah. So that's what's up with the Reeds.
Yeah. So
And,
what are you grateful for? You're grateful for change.
I am grateful for change.
I get that.
I'm happy for change. So that's what's.
I mean, along the same lines, I am grateful that we have a space, and I am now getting excited. I think in this whole process, it came up at the same time your dad really declined. And so
It's been really challenging.
It's been really challenging. And so to even be excited about change or excited about something new has been really, it's not been a place where we've been. I haven't been.
Well, I haven't been able to yet. But.
So I'm now finally at the place where I'm like, okay, I'm excited for a new place. And
good morning, Carmela.
so I'm grateful for that. So let's hear some gratitude from you guys.
What to you it is. I said my grateful.
What are you
What my gratitude? What's your gratitude?
I'm grateful that I'm excited now. Like it's kind of along the same lines I said as yours.
Okay.
But because it was more of a chore. Like I don't want to move. Like kind of like a temper tantrum. And
She threw like a month-long temper tantrum. Anyway, let's keep moving here today.
Denise is going to get us started off with gratitude today. She says, grateful for riding from San Fran to San Diego this week for Challenge Athletes Foundation.
Yeah.
Today is Santa Monica to Dana Point. Oh, that's awesome, Denise. That's a long ride.
Yeah.
Your mom says, I'm thankful for the presence and strength of Jesus.
Yeah.
AB's grateful God's got Israel's back.
Yep, sure does.
Mom and Dad, my mom and dad, they're grateful for their city group. It was great last night.
Awesome. Good work, everybody.
Good morning, Michelle. She says, I'm grateful for being with good friends, and it is Friday Eve.
Yeah.
Hi, Kelly's Bear.
DJ Flat says, I'm grateful it's Fire Shop Day. Grateful it's Fire Shop Day.
It is Fire Shop Day.
By the way, if you're on Facebook, click that share button, put it out there for the rest of the world. Say, wow, put it on your story. Okay, go.
Good morning, Tracy.
Are you reading here?
I am. Tracy Shorey says, I'm grateful for the season God has me in.
Yeah. Aunt Helen said, and Antachevich says, grateful for a day off.
Kenna, she's grateful we finally have answers to our moving plans and we get to stay here until March.
Okay.
We thought we were losing them next month.
Good job, Kenna.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hanging out.
Amber says, I'm grateful that my blood pressure is coming down and my sugar number is coming down. and I'm getting healthy. Good
Nice,
job,
girl.
Amber.
Nice.
Congratulations, my friend.
Kendall, I'm grateful for the Vitamix blender my neighbor gave me. Kitchen power tool.
Nice. Elizabeth Mala says, we can relate about change. It's adventure and God has it, and gratefully loving the move here in Moses Lake. Even that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Hey, where do you live? Moses Lake.
Tank.
We
he's
walk
great-
on water and we cause the seas to divide.
Tank's grateful to have Fire Shop to go to tonight.
Whatever.
Kelly Spare says grateful for getting grass today. Thursday, I'm so grateful that the mercies of the Lord are new every morning.
Okay.
Nikki, grateful for a great midweek. CJ, grateful picnic team meets today, 12 noon, Heritage Park. Bring a lunch and join us.
Picnic Tima.
Joni's grateful for 3 more sleeps and vacay stars.
Nice. Jack says grateful for patience and peace. Lauren says grateful that I got to put my trust and hope in the Lord. So many seasons and changes, but walks with us. He walks with us through it all. Maureen says grateful you guys found your new home in the same
Thank you,
neighborhood.
Maureen.
Yeah. Carmela says I'm grateful for how God has blessed my daughter Cassie Topping and her Cassie Topping. I knew that. With her amazing ministry
Word.
opportunity.
Amazing husband with an amazing ministry opportunity.
Oh, even though it's in Central
California.
It's up there in the baked land of the Central Valley.
Robert Jones, he's grateful for his pastors. They are awesome.
Good job, Robert. I know your pastors. They're pretty.
Yes.
The
Kathy,
Shories are amazing.
grateful for a loving city group.
Yeah.
Melissa, thank for our city group fun last night. Love our peeps.
Yeah.
You got a good city group, Melissa.
Hey, there's Barbara Guillen.
Hi, Barbara. Michael's grateful for the wonderful wife I have.
Notice how I went redneck right there for a minute.
Did. On
How
Barbara
you doing,
Guillen.
Barbara Guillen? Hey, there's Barbara Guillen. I don't know why. It just came out of me that way.
She
Great.
was grateful for signs and wonders taking place today.
Ooh, I love it.
Nick Alvarez, he's grateful for a great night of sleep.
Tim says grateful for friends. Kevin says grateful for peace from Jesus. Debbie says I'm grateful that God has my back because life can be difficult and change is hard.
Yes. Yes, Debbie.
Barb says good morning, LOL.
I'm sure her GM was a Texas twang also.
Was it like this? She rolled her eyes. It was a southern eye roll. Do you go by Barb ever or just Barbara?
Babs. You go by Babs. That's my new name for you, Barbara.
Or
Babs.
just B. I know some barbers that go by B. But the world has used it as a slang that's not good, so I can't really.
Good morning to Mama. She says
Whatever.
grateful for family. You go by Babs?
What? That's a cool name. Babs.
I love Babs.
I love Babs. I love it. That's the best name ever.
Good job on the
Mercedes
gratitude,
says,
you
I'm grateful
guys."
that my lactation support group meets today.
Yes.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm glad.
Necessary when you have little babies that you're nursing.
Is it a girl? Is it a girl? Lady?
Lactation is breastfeeding.
Oh,
Listen, though.
I did know that. I just remember
Yes.
you do know that, dork.
Yeah, it's actually really important because, there's so many reasons,
Okay.
obviously.
Let's move on. Rosanna, good morning. Grateful for a day of rest. Somebody's trying to call me right now. I
Bad
can't
timing.
answer. I can't answer. I'm on 714, people. Christina Diaz says, good morning. Grateful for a day off. Should be productive. DJ Flat says, with Babs and Buster's Bunny. Yeah, that's right. Brian Miche says, grateful for new opportunities today. Okay.
Angelique says grateful for the countdown to territory.
Yeah.
We gotta announce it. We'll talk more about that here in a second.
do.
Danette says grateful to see Mom today for lunch. Grateful for my precious dog Savannah.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor Doug, for the the Shories were blessed to have the Reeds to mentor. Well, we love you.
Yes.
Moving right along. Please, Lauren, we're moving right along.
Oh, you guys, it's natural.
Yeah.
It's natural. Anyways, we are excited. So most of you know about the song that our worship team, Drew and Angelique, wrote, Territory.
Yeah.
And you guys, it is now on iTunes. not Apple Music, but iTunes for pre-order, which is super exciting.
Super weird, the iTunes, but not Apple Music.
I know. I don't understand it. I threw
because they're 2 in 1.
Because I didn't understand it.
But you can go to you have to go to the app on your phone if you have an Apple phone.
The iTunes app.
You have to go to the iTunes app, not the Apple's app, and you search Territory Coast City Music. It'll pop up, and you can pay 99 cents to pre-order it. Arnie thought it was those who were lactose intolerant. That's what I thought too, and I was like, what's it? Oh no. Lady stuff coming.
That's
right
awesome.
up.
Can you imagine someone walking into the group because they thought it was lactose intolerant?
No, this is what I thought. I was like, this is so cool.
That's
How do I
so-
work on this? Because I have lactose intolerance.
Oh my word, that's just funny.
You walk in and you're like,
They're like, sir,
I'm
I'm
not a
sorry, you
creeper.
have the wrong group.
I am not
Anyways,
a creeper.
The song is out for pre-order. You have to go through your iTunes app, not your music app. iTunes,
But it's
and you
only
can pre-order.
it's only till it's released, which is October 27th.
Yes.
Next week.
So when it hits
It's the
27th,
yeah.
you can get it on Apple
Then you
Music.
can get it on Apple Music. But we are going to try to work with the church to make this just a massive release and use it to touch the people of our city. So, Drew, did you guys finish though the video part of it? Drew was like, "No, we got lots of work to do on the video side of it left." I want to know if that's done because I think that'll help if we could release that like on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good. Oh my,
Cannot.
Kendi.
Okay, moving right along. Good job on the gratitude, everybody. We are in
We're in the Bible. Here we go.
are in the Bible. We are in 1 Kings chapter 10.
Yes, we are. First Kings
1 Kings
chapter
10.
10. Here we go.
The Queen of Sheba.
First Kings chapter 10. You guys ready? Queen of Sheba. We've all heard of this lady. Here we go.
It says, when the Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon and his relationship to the Lord, she came to test Solomon with hard questions. Arriving at Jerusalem with a very great caravan with camels carrying spices, large quantities of gold, and precious stones.
Why did they do that? Does anybody know? Why did they show up with all these gifts and good smelling things? Why did they do that? Here's what they were saying: we come in peace. We come. We're not trying to tell you what to do. We come as partners and friends. She was a drama queen. That's for certain. Okay, let's keep going.
And precious stones. She came to Solomon and talked with him about all that she had on her mind.
Yeah.
Solomon answered all her questions. Nothing was too hard for the king to explain to her. When the Queen of Sheba saw all the wisdom of Solomon and the palace he had built, the food on his table, the seating of his officials, the attending servants in their robes, his cupbearers, and the burnt offerings he made at the temple of the Lord, she was overwhelmed. She said to the king, "The report I heard in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom is true. But I did not believe these things until I came and saw with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Indeed, not even half was told me. In wisdom and wealth, you have far exceeded the report I heard. How happy your people must be. How happy your officials who continually stand before you and hear your wisdom. Praise be to the Lord your God, who has delighted in you and placed you on the throne of Israel.
Yeah.
Because of the Lord's eternal love for Israel, he has made you king to maintain justice and righteousness." Verse 10, and she gave the king 120 talents of gold, large quantities of spices and precious stones.
Morning, Dino.
Never again were so many spices brought in as those the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. Wow.
She was into the spices.
She was.
She was spicy. Dad joke.
Hiram's ships brought gold from Ophir, and from there they brought great cargoes of almug wood and precious stones. The king used the almug wood to make supports for the temple of the Lord and for the royal palace, and to make harps and lyres for the musicians.
Can I show a little bit of? I have a photo of the original stones and some of the supports that are part of this alma wood. that I'd like to show you guys. I took this photo in 2020, the beginning of 2020, right before COVID hit. We were in Israel, and we were in this tunnel that's some 40 or 50 feet down. You have to go down quite a ways, and you come into this massive tunnel.
Is this the tunnel you had to run through?
It is. You'll see the end of it. But these stones that you see next to us, I'll use the clicker deal, whatever we call that little pointer thingy on the computer to show you the space. The mouse pointer dealy bobber. This is the mouse.
I know.
What's that? The arrow deal. What do we call that?
It's the mouse on the screen.
Well, okay. Here it comes. Are you guys ready? Okay. So these stones, I don't know. You probably can't see the mouse, but these stones are super interesting. They can't see the mouse. This is the beginning, right behind the lady talking, the guy with the bald head right there that you guys could see. Hopefully.
Down the hallway. It looks like a hallway.
That is the beginning of the tunnel. You have to go down even a little bit further. That's the beginning of the tunnel. And then it gets tiny.
Really narrow.
Like my shoulders
and really low.
My shoulders hit and my head hit. I had to go sideways and duck. Mm-hmm. I am claustrophobic. And it's been a battle of mine forever. But I want to show you something, you guys. Look at these huge stones right behind the lady, these blocks of stone. She's standing there teaching because
You mean the wall?
The wall right behind her with the squares that are cut out. Mm-hmm. And you see this is some of the supports
Looks like
that
a
they
broken
used.
off support right behind her.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Those were how they got those stones drug into place. Now, each of those stones are massive. This was part of the stones of the original Solomon's temple. Isn't that interesting? So you're literally looking at those stones. We put our hands on those stones, and I was thinking, man, just think about this. What we're reading right now was from those men that put these stones together. And if you go down that hallway, you see at the very other end, you see a green light, like a green light. That is where the cornerstone is. All of these rocks were built around the cornerstone because it was this huge rock right there in the middle, and everything flowed from the cornerstone. So it's a firm foundation. And I just thought it would be interesting for you guys to check this out. I've got some more that I'll bring in as well. And by the way, for those of you that are signed up to go to Israel, I talked to our crew yesterday that will be helping host us while we're there, which we're doing this trip on our own. So that's why it costs less money. But I do have a host, and his recommendation is that we do not cancel until we get to sometime in December, seeing where it's at, because they're thinking and talking with the government and saying it is going to it's going to mellow out and things will be they're saying 90% for sure that we can still make the trip happen. So that's interesting. I'm like, okay. And they said it's easier at this point. It's easier for them to cancel because bottom line is everybody gets their money back. But yeah. So that's that chief cornerstone. That's looking down. I'll also bring the view of the chief cornerstone. I have that picture, and we'll bring that as well maybe tomorrow. So let's keep reading.
Cool. Cindy, the reason why Doug had to run, I don't know if you heard us tell this story, but because it gets super narrow and he is claustrophobic, he had to wait till everybody was through. Because what happened is you would be in this tunnel, and then someone would ask a question and the whole group would stop in the tunnel, or we get backlogged, or people were just slow. And if Doug can keep moving, he's fine. But once we stop, he feels like the walls are doing this.
I was like, oh no. I literally start sweating. My eyes start popping out of my head.
He was going to leave and just go out, not go through the tunnel. And he was like, no, I want to experience the tunnel. So he literally was waiting, and we held traffic so nobody can go in front of him. And then he just beelined it.
Yeah, I was like, there was a group behind us, and they were like, sir, could you please go? And I was like, can you take a deep breath, please? And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm trying to get through this. I'm taking a deep breath, and I used my pastor name. My name is Pastor Doug, and I have claustrophobia. I'm sorry. It sounds ridiculous. I know I shouldn't, but I do. And I said, I need you to take a deep breath for me and with me. And when they get to the other end, I'm going to be shot out of this cannon like a bat out of hell. And I will get to the other end, and then you guys can go as fast as you want. So here we go.
Oh, my word.
They got to the other end, and boom, I made it through. As long as I kept moving, it was no problem. I was like, it better be open on that other end. If I come to the other end and it's like this, we are going to be fighting.
Anyways, back to the Bible. We were talking about this almug wood.
Yeah.
And it's used for the supports for the temple
Yeah.
of the Lord and for the royal palace, and to make harps and lyres for the musicians. So much almug wood has never been imported or seen since that day.
Amy said I was the tunnel plug. I was, Amy.
Verse 13, King Solomon gave the queen of Sheba all she desired and asked for, besides what he had given her out of his royal bounty. Then she left and returned with her retinue to her own country. That's a new word for me. Retinue. I'm assuming it's like her entourage. Okay. Verse 14. The weight of the gold that Solomon received yearly, was 666 talents.
Yeah.
Not including the revenues from merchants and traders and from all the Arabian kings and the governors of the territories.
Wow. Where are you?
I'm right here. Solomon's splendor.
Okay. What time is it? How are we doing? Oh, we're doing okay. Let's keep going for a little bit. I will, by the way, I will give you guys an update on Israel. I've had people asking, so we'll do that here when we're done.
Okay. Verse 16, King Solomon made 200 large shields of hammered gold. 600 shekels of gold went into each shield. He also made 300 small shields of hammered gold with 3 minas of gold each. 3 minas of gold in each shield. The king put them in the palace of the forest of Lebanon. Then the king made a great throne covered with ivory and overlaid with fine gold. The throne had 6 steps, and its back had a rounded top. On both sides of the seat were armrests with a lion standing beside each of them.
Wow.
Just the detail of this. 12 lions stood on the 6 steps, one on either end of each step. Nothing like it had ever been made for any other kingdom. All King Solomon's goblets were gold, and all of the household articles in the palace of the forest of Lebanon were pure gold. Nothing was made of silver, because silver was considered of little value in Solomon's days.
It's not as hard metal like gold.
Like gold. The king had a fleet of trading ships at sea along with the ships of Hiram. Once every 3 years it returned carrying gold, silver, and ivory, and apes and baboons.
Okay.
What a weird thing to throw in there.
Yeah.
King Solomon was greater in riches and wisdom than all the other kings of the earth. What'd you say?
They're like, I'll get my gold and silver. Oh, yeah. And I'll take an ape.
And a baboon.
Weird.
That's just strange. Verse 24, the whole world sought audience with Solomon to hear the wisdom God had put in his heart. Year after year, everyone who came brought a gift, articles of silver and gold, robes, weapons, and spices, and horses and mules.
Yeah.
Solomon accumulated chariots and horses. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horses, which he kept in the chariot cities, and also with him in Jerusalem. The king made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and cedar as plentiful as sycamore fig trees in the foothills. Solomon's horses were imported from Egypt and from Kew.
There's actually, you can do a whole look into Solomon's horses. They are amazing.
Egyptian horses.
Yeah.
The royal merchants purchased them from Kew at the current price.
Yeah.
They imported a chariot from Egypt for 600 shekels of silver and a horse for 150.
This is where we start seeing, you guys, this is where we start seeing Solomon. His focus goes from what he's building for God, and we start seeing his focus go on to what he's building for himself. This whole section right here. He's like, instead of creating splendor for God, he begins to create splendor for himself. He falls into the trap of what? It's like the same as the social media trap, but different. I mean, different in terms of the era, but I'm trying to look better than the next king over. I'm trying to show my wealth. I'm trying to prove who I am by my majesty over versus my integrity. When you have to prove who you are by what you have, instead of who you are, your character and integrity, you are going to start falling apart.
He did, though, also export them to all of the kings of the Hittites and of the Arameans.
Yes.
So he was a little giving.
Yeah. Right.
That's the end of that chapter.
Let me give you some stuff.
I just want to know, what did they do with the apes and the baboons?
Let me give you
Can
some
we go back
stuff.
to that for a moment?
Yeah. Well, in
Apes and baboons.
here's what it
do?
is. So there was a time period, and still is at moments, where like apes and baboons were something that only the wealthy owned.
Really?
Yeah. And they would own them. They would put up these huge cages. Some of them would run around freely, and they were peacocking. That was their way of showing their astronomical wealth.
I didn't realize it was a signature or signal of
Right.
wealth.
Well, it came with all the spices, the gold, the silver, the everything.
Apes and baboons.
Yeah. They just added it all together. And it was a sign of like,
Flaunting there.
it is. It's peacocking. Good word, Gwendolyn.
Peacocking. I've never heard peacocking before. Thanks, Gwen.
Yeah.
Learned a new word.
Yeah. They put out their feathers to show how grand they are.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like an exotic animal collection. Remember when Michael Jackson did that at Neverland? He had,
No,
Michael Jackson
never
had,
went to Neverland.
well, I know, but there was stories about it. He had like a whole zoo at
Well, I
Neverland.
knew he had a zoo.
Right. It was his way of saying, look at everything I have. So people and exotic
Peacocking's
animals.
a new word. I'm going to use that word.
There you go.
I like it.
Like that's what football
Stop
players.
peacocking.
Yeah. All football players, they score a touchdown and they peacock. Stop it. Stop peacocking.
I'm going to tell
That
my children,
sounds-
you are not allowed to peacock.
No more peacocking tape.
I love that.
That's awesome. Okay. Hey, here we go. Good morning, Heather.
So interesting.
Hi, Heather Williams.
So interesting.
Let's do a little update on Israel.
Tomorrow we will get into Solomon's wives. So
Yeah.
you might want to hang around.
Yeah, Solomon's wives. This gets gnarly.
It's going to be a
this is
conversation, I'm sure.
so you saw he's building the temple per the instructions of God, and then he starts building a palace and government things. That's all good, but then when he starts making it about his majesty, it gets. You see the downward spiral begin. So the end of that chapter starts talking about all the stuff that he did to make himself look good. The next chapter starts talking about how many wives he has. He owns concubines. And this is where you just see the quick decline of integrity and character. Isn't it amazing how stuff, guys, look at me for a minute. It's amazing how stuff does this to us. Stuff. Owning lots of stuff, having lots of money.
We don't have lots of money, but I've
It will
noticed we have
shift
lots
our
of stuff.
it will shift our priorities dramatically.
Yeah.
When you have too much stuff and you don't generously give it away, like honestly, instead of just imagine if Solomon, instead of building these ridiculous things unto himself, if he would have spent that money to make Israel stronger and better and gave it to the people and all of their families and used it to build an amazing nation, you guys, what would have been even the implications of today? If he would have spent that money on peace and building relationships, but he chose to build it on himself. This is why for all of us, the idea of keeping things and giving things away are such a big deal. When God, too much is required, too much is given, to whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
And Solomon just decided to use it on himself. Boom. Okay. Update on Israel. So, first things first, talked to Ofer yesterday on the phone. We are attempting, I haven't talked to Frank yet about this. I have to talk to Frank on the, I think it's the 2nd. If somebody wants to get out their calendar. November 2nd, Thursday night, November 2nd at Fire Shop night.
Oh.
We're talking about having Ofer and inviting everyone for that night to come and give a history of what's happening there. And I'll probably interview him and give him some questions. And I want to talk to Frank, though, about making that night for everybody.
Right.
Where we can invite everybody in to get a history lesson. So everything I'm teaching you right now, like I'm going to ask him to bring some pictures and blah, blah, blah. But everything I'm going through with you guys right now, imagine hearing that, but like the details, the whys, the hows, this is what's going to happen. I just need a response. How many of you would come if you had a chance to sit in the room on Thursday, November 2nd?
Yeah, that's right.
And it would probably be it would be a different night. We'd probably do about an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. And he would do amazing history lessons for us and really expand our understanding of Israel. How many of you would enjoy that? I just need like your response to that, because it's it's not, it's going to cost us. We're going to have to pay him to be here and fly him here from the East Coast and blah, blah, blah. You guys like that? Yeah. Hit that like button and put a comment in there.
Yeah.
So
comments would be helpful too. Yeah.
I think because I don't want to have him if it wouldn't be something that would be really well attended. So
I think it'd be really.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Really
People are digging it. Okay. Well, that's a really good response. Okay. So I'll talk to Frank today about that possibility. It'll be we'll call it a united night, Sisterhood and Firehood Unite. We'll just call it Unite. And
that actually works well for Sisterhood because Tuesday of that week, we won't be gathering because we just decided, not that we celebrate Halloween, but because it's a family evening.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Sisterhood isn't gathering
I didn't even know you were doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would actually be a great week for us to do a Unite.
Okay. Well, let me talk to Frank and see what he thinks about it. I think Frank's amazing to work with.
Frank would love it.
You know what's funny, Tabitha? We can't live stream it.
Sorry, Nikki. Nikki's asking the same thing.
Yeah, we can't live stream it. It puts him in a weird spot. So, so we cannot live stream it. We may record it. We may actually record it, and then we could possibly send you the recording. Yeah. So anyway, there you go.
Well, that's exciting.
So update on Israel. So currently, and I got firsthand knowledge because I talked to Ofer yesterday, and he said that the concern right now is simply similar to what I told you yesterday, is what's going to happen in Hezbollah. And they for the first time in a long time have had a few problems in the West Bank. In the Jordan, where you took the pictures with the soldiers. So in the refugee camp there, they've had some fighting break out, and that's where Bethlehem is as well. So they've had some issues there. So we're just praying. Like I've been praying today, Lord. First of all, those in Hamas that need to be brought to justice, that would just happen. Number one, November 2nd. I believe that's a Thursday.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. So first of all, praying like the right people in Hamas would be brought to justice so that Israel, and rightly so, can be able to say, okay, we're done. We're not going to continue, the shelling and the wiping out of, Gaza, the Gaza Strip. So I'm just praying that happens. So the concern is, and you guys can just pray, Lord, just mellow out Lebanon, Hezbollah from Lebanon. You know what's interesting about Lebanon? It's actually a Christian nation. Considered, it's Catholic, but it's considered a Christian nation. Hezbollah wouldn't normally be a part, but has infiltrated that nation. And Gaza, so Hezbollah and Hamas they're on the same side of the coin, but normally you put them in the same room and they'd kill each other.
Right.
The Sunnis and the Shiites. So they don't normally like each other at all. So it's weird that they're all working together right now, but we just need it to stop. We need there to be massive peace, and it's all good. So yeah, they are trying to evacuate people right now, and not for free. There's actually a couple of tours. Thursday right now, I was talking to Ofer yesterday, and I know that because he's a tour guide. There's still people in Jerusalem going to sites.
Wow.
They're not supposed to be, but they were already there. And so they're like, well, let's just go what are we going to do? Sit in a hotel. So they've been going to some sites, and there's places all over central Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem to Mount Carmel. They're kind of keeping people away from the Sea of Galilee. That's a little further north. I found pictures yesterday, Gretchen, of you and I in the Golan Heights, taking pictures out over Syria where Damascus was in the background. And that's a gnarly place right now. And then we were at Megiddo, which is directly across from Gaza, from the Gaza Strip. So, the one thing that'll probably have to change is going to the Valley of Elah, because that's right down, not far from, not horribly far from Gaza. So we just need to pray for those things, that would all happen, that level 4 travel advisory would change quickly.
Yeah.
And the reality is, if we cancel now, it's going to cost us all money to cancel.
If they cancel
on us, it'll be like a full refund.
Yeah.
So, we're going to send a note to everybody today about the details of that.
Yeah.
So there we go. So let's pray.
All right. Well, let's pray. Jesus, we are grateful for you and just our time here today, and to talk about your word and to read it together, and just so interesting to see. And I think it's just a good reminder of how quickly we can easily start to turn what we're doing for you into what we're doing for ourselves.
Yeah.
And so, Father, I pray that you would help us to really focus on you and what you are calling us to do, not what we're calling for ourselves. God, I pray you would help us as we navigate our days today. Mm-hmm. God, help us to just recognize those that are around us, that we could be that bright light in someone else's world today, that we could be the smile, we could be the hello, we can be the hug that somebody is needing today. And so, God, I just pray you would use us to be your hands and feet extended.
Yeah. Lord, be with us. Be with Israel, the peace of Israel.
Yeah.
Lord, help us, not even those of us that have much, that have just been blessed by you, that we would just understand to whom is given much, much is required. And Lord, we want to be just generous, open, loving people that are not making a spectacle of who I am, but reflecting your glory, God. Thank you for this opportunity today. In your name, amen. Amen. Hey, a couple of things I missed when it comes to Israel. Yes, the hospital that was bombed, they did confirm on both sides of the account that it was not Israel, that it was and I'm sure you've seen it, those of you that are watching the news, that it was a misfired rocket out of Gaza. Yeah. Sad, they drilled their own target. And honestly, that's happening all over. The biggest war that's being waged in the world right now is the war of misinformation. Hamas uses misinformation to try to rile up the rest of the world.
Yeah, and it worked yesterday.
Yeah, they bombed their own people.
Well,
it was 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Crazy.
Protests everywhere.
Now everybody's protesting, and now they're like, oh, shoot, well, maybe there's somebody else, I guess. I don't know. So it's just a sad state of affairs. And then secondly, Abby, on your comment that America should help on the northern border, they actually are. They are stationed in the Mediterranean off the northern border, and they have sent very stern remarks to Hezbollah and Lebanon saying, if you get involved, we will have Israel's back. The only thing from the holding them Hezbollah from an all-out war in the north is America right now. So I'm thankful for that. So that's the update. We love you guys. We're super stoked. Any of you that just are like, man, I love moving. I want to move today.
You feel like just picking up boxes.
I need men that are strong, that want to just help us move. Do I ever? So all the men that want to help move today, I need some muscles. Lots of heavy stuff getting moved today. Any of you that are out there, today's the day, my friends. Today's the day. And I'll buy you lunch. You get paid big time. Some kind of pizza or something. Hot dogs.
Probably pizza. Hot dogs you'd have to cook. I'm not sure how you're going to cook them.
Yeah. Anyway, love you. If you'd like to help, text me, message me, whatever. I'll figure out how to get you here. Well, we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning at
7:14.